Hey, good morning. Brent Parker here, coming to you live from Louisville, Kentucky. Hey, good morning and welcome to this session of Tidbits with Brent. I was just riding down a highway here in my hometown of Louisville, Kentucky. I'm here this week visiting family, and I live, primarily in Jacksonville Beach, Florida. But I was just driving down a highway here that is called the Gene Snyder Freeway, and this freeway is a two-lane highway or freeway. I honestly don't even know the difference, but it's a two-lane. We'll call it a freeway since it's called the Gene Snyder Freeway. But it's a two-way freeway in the east side of Louisville, which is the most developing area of Louisville. One of the most developing areas of Louisville. It's been said that most of the growth is moving toward the east side of the town, and as I was driving this morning down that freeway, I realized that, with all the growth moving toward that part of town, that they really are a little bit behind in widening that freeway. That freeway really needs to be 3 lanes by now, and eventually it'll probably end up needing to be 4 lanes because of the massive growth that's happening in this area and all the traffic and is moving toward this part of town. And so as I realized that, I thought to myself, the powers that be, so to speak, the government officials and those that take care of our roads and the development of our roads and things of that nature, I'm sure know better than I do that we need that development to happen, that we need that highway to be expanded. I'm sure that I can see them in the planning room now, so to speak, and they're anxious probably a little bit to say, what, we've got to get out there to the Gene Snyder Freeway, and we've got to get that thing widened because the growth is so massive and the traffic is starting to get busy and it's starting to clog up and it's starting to inhibit the flow of productivity in that part of town. And so as I thought that, I realized that they're probably doing all that they can do with the tax dollars that they have and the labor, the manpower that they have, the technology that they have to get out this way to expand that highway. But I'm sure that they've got other projects, other highways, other roads that they're developing, fixing, making better for the heart of the town, the part that gets more traffic still than the east side of Louisville. And it made me realize a real truth, which is really centered around faith. Faith is a substance, and so we can use that substance in any direction we choose. But that's kind of getting off on my message. But this message is centered around faith. So what I'm saying is, an entrepreneur, the entrepreneurs that are causing the expansion of growth, the builders, the developers that develop neighborhoods, the shopping center, the commercial developers, even churches are moving out this way. All of this growth that's happening by the entrepreneurs, by those that that lead the way and carve out the way, so to speak. That's all happening by people that believe in a dream and a vision without having the resources first. In other words, a lot of times, we get a dream or a vision and we develop a passion about something and we say, I'm going to do that when I get the money, or I'm going to do that when I get the help I need. I'm going to do that when I get the manpower. But at the end of the day, the leaders of the world, the developers of the world, they go out and they carve out a path, and they have a vision and they see things and they chase after that without the resources first. They use their faith, that substance we call faith, they use their faith to go out and plant that vision and, plant that business, plant that neighborhood, plant that church, plant that, whatever it is, And they go out and they do it by faith because the vision is so strong in them that they wake up to it, they breathe it, they think about it, and they can't get away from it. And so my message today is that, don't be afraid to step out. When you have a vision, when God stirs something in your heart, don't be afraid to step out even without the resources, because I believe if you'll step out in obedience and do that thing He's called you to do, then He will provide the resources. And that's what faith's all about, right? How much faith does it take to go out and do something when you have the money? You know, if I want to take my kids to Disney World and I have the money saved up, it doesn't take me a lot of faith to plan that trip and you know, and take that trip because the money's in the bank. But what about that time when, you know, for instance, my mother, who raised myself and my sister, you know, primarily by herself, because my parents were divorced when I was a year old, and my father was really not in the picture, and so my mother carved out her way, and you'll ask a single mother like that, and you know, you look back, and you know, I'm here at her house, you know, I'm on her porch, so I can't really show you her house, but I can show you, you know, maybe her neighbor's house or something, right? So, you know, pretty nice neighborhood. And, you know, I remember my mother used to work 2 and 3 jobs at times, you know, because she had what did she have? She had a passion and a vision, right, to provide not just, you know, a get by life for her kids, but she had a hope and a vision to provide a nice life, a safe environment. You know, you know, we went to private schools. You know, we always had the best, along with other kids, and it's because my mother had a vision, right, first, and a passion inside, right, to go after something, but she never really had the money. And you'll ask a single mom like my mother, how did you do it? How did you make it? How did you end up in, you know, in a nice neighborhood, you know, when you started out in a small house or small apartment, actually, you know, before my sister and I were born, and how did you end up this way? And she'll tell you that she did it because she had to. She did it because the vision in her was strong enough to drive her to just do it, right? So I just want to encourage you today that, you know, we can take steps of faith, and God is with us. If we'll do that, He'll honor that, and He will provide the resources for us to cause those visions to cause those dreams to actually become our reality. All right, God bless. Have a great day.